Why do some ideas thrive while others die? Why do we remember certain messages and forget others? In their best-selling book, Made to Stick, brothers Chip and Dan Heath explore what makes ideas sticky. That is, understandable, memorable, and effective in changing thoughts or behavior. Drawing from psychology, communication theory, and real-life examples, the authors introduce 6 essential principles that can transform any idea into a lasting one. These principles are organized under the acronym SUCCES: simple, unexpected, concrete, credible, emotional, and stories. Each chapter of the book is dedicated to exploring one of these principles in depth, offering vivid examples and actionable insights. Chapter 1. Simple. Find the core. The first principle of stickiness is simplicity. But simple doesn't mean dumbed down. It means finding the core of an idea, the essential truth that drives the message. The Heath brothers emphasize that in a world overloaded with information, the best communicators strip an idea down to its most powerful essence. This is not about reducing complexity, but about prioritizing clarity. They give the example of the U.S. military's commander's intent, a concise statement of the desired end state of an operation. This allows soldiers to act independently, even if plans change. The lesson: identify your core message and express it with precision. If you say 10 things, you say nothing. Chapter 2. Unexpected. Grab attention. The second trait of sticky ideas is unexpectedness. To capture attention, we must break patterns. The brain is designed to tune out familiar stimuli, so effective communicators must violate expectations. This doesn't mean being merely shocking. It means creating curiosity and resolving it. The authors use the example of a high school teacher who begins a lesson on the dangers of driving by, crashing into a stack of desks. This surprise leads to emotional and intellectual engagement. Sticky ideas spark curiosity gaps, questions that people want answered. The key lesson is to first break your audience's guessing machine and then fix it by delivering a satisfying insight. Chapter 3. Concrete. Make it tangible. The third principle is concreteness. Abstract ideas are hard to grasp and even harder to remember. Concrete language, on the other hand, makes ideas stick because it helps people visualize and understand them. The Heath brothers argue that we remember tangible details far better than vague concepts. For example, Aesop's fables endure because they use vivid imagery. A tortoise racing a hare is more memorable than slow and steady wins the race. Even complex business strategies become memorable when communicated with specific, sensory-rich examples. The lesson is to anchor your message in something people can see, touch, or feel. Abstractions don't stick, images do. Chapter 4. Credible. Make people believe. Sticky ideas must also be credible. People are bombarded with information, and skepticism is natural. To counter doubt, ideas must come with proof. But surprisingly, credibility doesn't always require big-name experts. The authors show that internal credibility, details, statistics, and testable ideas often works even better. For instance, a campaign to encourage teens to avoid drugs used a simple line: "This is your brain on drugs," followed by an egg sizzling in a frying pan. The visual itself served as proof. Another form of credibility is the anti-authority. Real people with real stories. A cancer patient talking about the risks of smoking may be more persuasive than a doctor quoting data. The lesson: use vivid details. Allow people to test your idea and make it believable through trustworthy voices. Chapter 5. Emotional. Make people care. We remember what we feel. That's why the fifth principle is emotional connection. Sticky ideas tap into human emotions. The Heaths explain that people don't make decisions based on pure logic. They are moved by things that resonate with their values and identities. One powerful insight is the Mother Teresa effect. People are more likely to help a single, identifiable victim than a large, abstract group. For instance, telling donors about a single, starving child elicits more donations than overwhelming statistics about famine. Sticky ideas appeal to self-interest, but also to identity. People like me do things like this. The lesson here is to make people care, you must connect emotionally. Make it about them, or about something they deeply believe in. Chapter 6. Stories. Inspire action. The final principle is stories. Storytelling is one of the oldest tools for communication, and for good reason. Stories not only entertain, they serve as powerful mental simulations. They teach us how to act. The authors explain that stories provide templates for behavior, challenge plots, where people overcome obstacles, connection plots involving relationships, and creativity plots where new ideas triumph. One unforgettable story in the book is about a Subway franchise owner who used the story of Jared, the young man who lost over 200 pounds by eating Subway sandwiches to massively boost sales. That story was sticky, not because of facts or figures, but because of the human journey behind it. The lesson: wrap your core message in a compelling narrative. Stories are memorable because they engage both intellect and emotion. Chapter 7, Epilogue, What Sticks? In the epilogue, the Heath brothers reflect on how the 6 principles work together. A sticky idea is one that is simple, unexpected, concrete, credible, emotional, and told through stories. They emphasize that you don't need to use all 6 in every message, but the more you include, the more your idea will resonate and endure. They revisit real-world examples, like urban legends and effective public health campaigns, to show how success principles play out in real contexts. Importantly, they remind us that crafting a sticky idea is not about adding flash. It's about getting to the essence, shaping it into something people can understand, remember, and act upon. Final thoughts and lessons. At its core, Made to Stick is a book about communication. Whether you're a teacher, entrepreneur, marketer, or parent, the ideas in this book can transform how you share knowledge, inspire action, and influence behavior. Sticky ideas don't just happen by accident. They're carefully constructed using timeless principles of human psychology. The key is to focus not on what you want to say, but on how others will hear and remember it. Here's a quick recap of the 6 principles. 1. Simple. Strip the idea to its core. 2. Unexpected. Grab and hold attention by surprising. 3. Concrete. Make abstract ideas tangible. 4. Credible. Use evidence and trustworthy voices. 5. Emotional. Make people care. 6. Stories. Use narratives to inspire and instruct. The ultimate test of your message is not what you say, it's what your audience remembers. With the SUCCESS framework, you can make your ideas stick.